It feels like we're almost hardwired for scarcity, doesn't it? We spend so much mental energy chasing what's next. The next promotion, the next goal.
The next big thing, yeah.
Exactly. And we train our brain, maybe without realizing it, to just focus on the gap.
Right, the gap between where we are and where we think we should be.
And in doing that, constantly chasing, we fail to notice what's already here. The stability, the abundance that's right now.
And that gap, that kind of perpetual feeling of lack, well, that's the universal tension we're really diving into today.
Okay.
The gentle power of gratitude.
Gratitude, right.
But crucially, this isn't about, forcing optimism or pretending everything's perfect.
No, that wouldn't feel authentic.
Exactly. It's more about a discipline, actually. A practice of seeing clearly.
Seeing clearly.
Yeah, noticing the quiet blessings, maybe appreciating small acts of kindness, recognizing the beauty or just the function in ordinary moments. Stuff our survival brain usually just filters out.
Okay, so our mission today is a deep dive into how that shift actually works.
Precisely. We're going to unpack how gratitude functions, not just as like a nice feeling,
Right.
but as a profound, actionable shift in awareness, a cognitive shift.
And how modern science is actually backing this up, validating the ancient wisdom.
Absolutely. There's a practical blueprint here for turning appreciation into, well, a way of life.
Okay, sounds good. Now, before we get deep into the neuroscience of it all, I should mention this deep dive, it's brought to you by ProCare Hanoi.
Ah, good point.
They're the phone and laptop repair shop that the expat community here really trusts. If you're overseas, you know how crucial fast service, clear communication, and honest advice are when your tech starts acting up.
Definitely. Especially when you're far from home.
ProCare Hanoi gives you exactly that, trustworthy help when you need it.
That sense of reliability is huge.
It really is. And speaking of support, this whole project is a real labor of love.
It is.
So if you find value in these deep dives, your support means the world. Buy me a coffee is just the simplest way to chip in, say thanks.
Keeps the lights on, keeps the research going.
Totally. Every single cup helps fuel this journey. You can just scan the QR code in the podcast cover art. And a huge thanks to everyone who's already supported us. You're amazing.
Really appreciate it. Okay, so back to gratitude.
Yeah.
Let's start with the basics. When people normally think of gratitude, what comes to mind? Usually the big stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. A grand event, a big win, something that makes you feel like you have to write a thank you note.
Right. It's often seen as a reaction, something external happens, then we feel grateful.
We wait for that capital G gift from the universe.
But the core insight from the sources we looked at is that the truly transformative kind of gratitude, it actually starts much smaller.
Similar.
Yeah, it's really a shift in awareness. It's moving beyond just, politely saying thank you out of habit.
Okay.
To actually feeling thankfulness.
Yeah.
Deeply.
Yeah.
As a sort of foundational way of being.
So it's an internal adjustment, like changing the default setting of the mind. Because that default seems to be scanning for problems.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And this is where, mindfulness comes in. People hear mindfulness and gratitude together all the time.
Yeah, they get kind of bundled together. What's the clear distinction for our listeners?
That's a really critical point. So mindfulness at its core is about non-judgmental observation.
Just noticing.
Just noticing. The breath, a sound, a sensation, without labeling it good or bad. Gratitude then comes in as the valuing or the appreciation of that observation.
Ah, okay.
So when they intersect, that simple observation like, I am breathing, suddenly gets imbued with value. Each breath isn't just, biology happening.
Right.
It becomes a quiet miracle.
Right.
A reason to appreciate simply being alive in this moment.
So mindfulness gives us the raw data, the what is,
Yeah.
and gratitude adds the filter of this is valuable.
Precisely. And the power that unlocks, in terms of perspective, is just enormous. Gratitude isn't some magic wand, right? It doesn't make problems disappear.
No, of course not.
But it fundamentally changes how you see the problems. And importantly, how you see the resources you have to face them.
It's that change of perspective.
That change of perspective, that realization of your own inner stability or the good that is present, that genuinely changes everything.
Okay, so if it's this shift in awareness, this way of being, how do we actually internalize that? Especially when life is busy, stressful, you know?
Right.
How do we get past just the idea of gratitude and actually embed it, make it part of how we think daily?
That's the key question, moving from philosophy to practice. And it is a practice. It's not passive. You have to train the mind.
Okay, how?
Well, the sources detail some specific components. First, intentional focus. Don't just try to feel vaguely thankful.
Specific.
Be specific. Bring one granular thing to mind, like the exact taste of your coffee this morning, or the smell of rain, maybe.
Yeah.
Or even just the fact that your heart is still beating reliably.
Specificity makes it more real, I guess. Easier to connect with.
Exactly. Specificity drives intensity, helps memory. Then the second component is somatic embedding. You need to anchor that thought in your body.
Anchor it.
Feel it physically, not just as an idea floating around in your head, but maybe as a warmth in your chest, or perhaps your shoulders relaxing slightly.
And a physical sensation.
Yeah. And you pair that feeling with a quiet internal affirmation, not a big declaration, just a simple whisper to yourself, like, I'm alive. I have enough. This moment is enough.
This moment is enough. That feels powerful, but also challenging. Let me play devil's advocate for a second.
Please do.
For someone really struggling, huge workload, genuine stress, finding space for this daily practice, sustaining that focus, how realistic is that when the world is constantly pulling at you?
That's a completely valid obstacle, and a common one, which is why the practice needs to be integrated, not just another thing added to the to-do list.
It's integrated, okay. How?
Well, one really effective method, backed by research, is the 3 good things technique, often done right before sleep.
I've heard of this.
Yeah, it's simple. You just mentally list 3 things that went well today, however small,
Yeah.
and briefly consider why they went well.
So it forces your brain to scan for the positive before you sleep.
Exactly. It's an intentional closing of the day that makes the brain search its recent memory for evidence of abundance, or just things that worked out. It actively counteracts the brain's natural bias towards problems and worries from the day.
That reframing, it's key, isn't it? Deliberately noticing and documenting what is working. It disrupts that constant scanning for what's wrong, for lack, if we stop being ruled by the deficit.
And that is the gentle power we mentioned earlier.
Yes.
It softens the sharp edges of daily stress. And by softening them, it actually opens up the emotional space you need for resilience, for connection. It's a profound act of self-regulation, really.
I want to circle back to something you touched on, this idea that we often wait for the big stuff, the promotion, the big win, the amazing vacation. Before we allow ourselves to feel thankful,
Yeah.
we miss the quiet, everyday things that actually make life work.
And that waiting just robs us of the present moment, doesn't it? Which is, where life actually is.
Yeah.
The real muscle-building exercise for gratitude is noticing the quietly good right now.
The quietly good. Like what?
Think about the reliable light in the morning, the sound of laughter, maybe from a neighbor or your family, a comfortable chair, or even just, a working phone, a smoothly running laptop.
Yes. Definitely grateful for those when they work.
These small things, they're like the unseen scaffolding of a decent, functional life.
Yeah.
They truly are blessings, but only when we actually see them clearly.
And speaking of reliable functionality, that brings us back to our sponsor.
Perfect timing.
Thinking about service and care, this deep dive is brought to you by ProCare Hanoi, that trusted phone and laptop repair shop. When your tech fails overseas, needing that trust, that fast service, clear communication, honest advice, it's paramount.
Absolutely essential.
ProCare Hanoi delivers just that. When your tech's letting you down, they step up.
And that concept itself, a repaired device, it's a perfect small example of this gratitude principle in action, isn't it?
How so?
Well, think about it. Someone expertly fixing something, you rely on your phone, your laptop. It's not just to complete a task.
Right.
It's a small, quiet act of care. It restores your connection to your work, your family, your world. It's a reason to feel genuinely thankful for the patience, the skill, the expertise of the person who solved that frustrating problem for you.
So, in that context, gratitude isn't a reaction to something huge.
No, it's a recognition of the quiet competence, the care, the restored connection that has already been given.
That idea of recognition feels like a great bridge to the science. It's lovely to feel better, but what does the research actually show? What's happening biologically when we practice gratitude?
Yeah, the scientific evidence is incredibly strong now. This isn't just, feel-good fluff. It's applied neuroscience. The documented benefits are pretty profound and measurable. People who consistently practice gratitude, even simple daily exercises, they show measurable reductions in cortisol, the stress hormone.
Lower stress.
They report better sleep, more efficient, more restful sleep, And maybe most importantly, they report a stronger, more resilient sense of connection to other people, to their environment.
Wow. So actual biological changes. What's the cognitive shift happening there? Why less stress, better sleep?
Well, it starts by tackling that negativity bias we talked about. Our brain's default, driven largely by the amygdala, is to scan for threats, to focus on lack, on what could go wrong.
The survival instinct.
Exactly. Gratitude practice is like targeted exercise for the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that handles higher level thinking, attention, emotional regulation.
Okay.
By intentionally, deliberately focusing on the positive, on what you appreciate, you are literally forcing the prefrontal cortex to pull resources away from the brain's threat center, the amygdala.
So you're actively building new neural pathways, ones that bypass the default anxiety reflex.
You got it. You're essentially building a neural superhighway for appreciation, and there's more consistent gratitude. Gratitude practice has also been linked to activating the vagus nerve.
Vagus nerve. Tell me more.
It's the main communication line between the brain and many bodily systems, including digestion and cardiovascular. A well-toned vagus nerve is strongly associated with better emotional regulation, lower inflammation, and a stronger sense of calm and social connection. It helps shift the body from fight or flight, rest and digest, calmness, connection.
Okay, but I have to ask, doesn't this risk becoming what some people call toxic positivity?
Ah, yes. That's a very important question.
Like if I force myself to feel grateful when I'm genuinely struggling, maybe in pain or really frustrated, aren't I just suppressing valid negative feelings?
That's the critical distinction.
Yeah.
And the difference is subtle but vital. Gratitude, as we're discussing it here based on the sources, is not denial.
Okay.
It's not about pretending the struggle isn't real. It's about developing a kind of dual awareness.
Dual awareness.
Yeah, the capacity to acknowledge the difficulty, the pain, the frustration that's real. You honor that, while simultaneously recognizing and valuing the resources, the support, the small good things you still possess.
So it's like holding both at once.
Exactly. Saying, this situation is really hard, and I'm thankful for the friend who called today, or this hurts, and I am grateful my body is trying to heal. It shifts the focus from total lack
to partial abundance.
Precisely. An acknowledgement of partial abundance, even within the difficulty.
That reframes the core question our brain asks, doesn't it? Instead of constantly asking what's wrong or what catastrophe is coming, we train it to ask, what capacity do I have right now? What support? What's already present that I can lean on or appreciate?
And that is the profound takeaway. Gratitude fundamentally shifts our operating system, our mindset, from one rooted in lack to one that recognizes abundance.
Okay.
And when we genuinely start living from that question, what's already enough, peace stops being this distant goal we have to constantly strive for.
It
becomes a natural result, a measurable outcome of simply recognizing the stable, quiet abundance that's often already around us.
Before we wrap up, I just want to acknowledge again that putting these deep dives together, synthesizing all this information, it really is a labor of love.
It truly is.
And if you, listening, have found value in these explorations, we'd be so grateful for your support. Buy me a coffee is the easiest way to say thanks.
Every little bit helps.
It really does. Every single cup helps us dedicate the time needed to create this for you. Just scan the QR code right there in the podcast cover art. Simple as that.
And huge thanks again to those who already support the show.
Absolutely huge thanks. Okay, so as people go about their day after listening, what's a final thought or practice?
Just maybe, as your day unfolds, make a tiny moment, a flash, to consciously stop and just internally acknowledge, thank you. Doesn't need to be loud or formal.
Yeah, just a quiet whisper. Thank you for my lungs still breathing. Thank you for this body carrying me around.
For the small comforts, that cup of coffee, maybe the commute went okay, the tech that connects you, like we talked about with ProCare, things that make life just a bit gentler.
Things that work.
Things that work. The core message, really, is that gratitude isn't about adding something new or waiting for some grand event.
It's
a discipline of observation that ultimately lets you finally see and even chemically value what's already here.
Finally seeing what's already here. A powerful thought. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the practical neuroscience of gratitude.
My pleasure.
Next time, we'll be exploring another really interesting concept from this tradition, shifting from awareness towards acceptance. We're calling it the art of letting be, finding peace without control.
Looking forward to that one. Until then, may you breathe deeply, notice kindly, and live with a sense of resilient gratitude.